Taron Malicos was a Jedi General of the Clone Wars, a survivor of Order 66, and a fallen knight who embraced the dark side on Dathomir. When we meet him in Jedi Fallen Order, he is already corrupted, manipulating the Night Sisters and plotting against Cal Kestis. But behind his fall lies an unanswered question. Who trained him? The Jedi Order is meticulous in its records, yet Malicos' master is never mentioned in either canon or legends. So today we'll examine the evidence, the fighting styles, and the philosophies that shaped Malicos, and explore which Jedi Master may have been his teacher. Malicos was a skilled duelist, proficient in dual lightsabers, a combat style that requires precision and mastery of multiple forms. His movements reflect elements of Jar-Kai, the dual blade technique, and Form 4 Ataru, an aggressive and acrobatic form that emphasize speed and offense. He also displayed mental resilience. Malicos survived the psychological collapse of Order 66, but instead of clinging to Jedi ideals, he allowed himself to spiral into ambition and dominance. This suggests he had a master who emphasized combat and command, but perhaps not one who instilled balance or humility. My first thought was Jedi Master Plo Koon. Plo was known for taking promising but unpolished students and for balancing their aggression with compassion. He trained Padawans like Baltar Swan and was responsible for finding Ahsoka Tano, encouraging her growth and remaining a mentor. If Malicos had trained under Plo, we would expect to see a Jedi deeply loyal to the Republic, but also willing to embrace unorthodox methods. Plo was not a strict traditionalist like Mace Windu. He valued adaptability. Taron's ability to survive on Dathomir and manipulate the Night Sisters could reflect that kind of flexible thinking. But Malicos lacked Plo's core compassion, which makes this connection questionable. My second thought is Saesee Tiin, the Itachi Jedi Master. Master Tiin was a brilliant strategist and starfighter pilot known for his calm demeanor and telepathic abilities. While not as famous for training duelists, Tiin believed in mental discipline and battlefield control. Malicos' ability to command troops during the Clone Wars and his sharp tactical instincts on Dathomir could stem from a master like Tiin. His cool, deliberate movements in combat resembled Tin's precise strikes. However, Tiin was deeply loyal to the Jedi Code, and his students rarely strayed far. If Malicos was his Padawan, his descent would be a sharp break from his master's teachings. Or perhaps he was trained directly by Master Plo Koon or Master Tiin, and indirectly by the Jedi Battle Master Cin Drallig. Nicknamed the Sword of the Jedi, Drallig personally instructed knights and Padawans in lightsaber combat within the temple. His most famous students included Anakin Skywalker himself. Malicos' mastery of Jar-Kai echoes Drallig's training lineage. Drallig was known for teaching Form 3 Soresu for defense, but he also pushed students to blend into more aggressive forms. Malicos' fighting style is too refined to be self-taught. It almost certainly traces back to a master with elite dueling credentials. If Malicos was a direct or indirect student of Drallig, his fall would parallel Anakin's, a weapon turned against the Jedi by circumstance and choice. In Legends, the possibility expands further. Malicos could have descended from the lineage of the Jedi Weapon Masters, a tradition where certain Jedi were trained almost exclusively for combat. Figures like Micah Jiet or the Battle Master traditions of the Old Republic could explain Malicos' emphasis on martial ability over philosophy. If his training was steeped in this tradition, Malicos would have been perfectly equipped for the Clone Wars, yet dangerously vulnerable to the temptations of power and survival. On Dathomir, without the order to temper him, his combat-centered training may have left him hollow, making him an easy target for the dark side. So why does Malicos' master even matter? Well, because it shows how mentorship shapes destiny. A master who focused too much on combat may have failed to prepare him for the psychological burden of war. A master who values tactics over compassion may have left him cold. And if his roots lay with the Battlemaster lineage, then his fall was almost inevitable. Malicos' tragedy highlights a broader truth. The Jedi's overemphasis on war during the Clone Wars left many knights unbalanced and vulnerable to the very darkness they swore to resist. Taron Malicos' master may never be revealed, but by examining his skills, philosophy, and downfall, we catch a glimpse of the hidden flaws in the Jedi Order itself. His master gave him the tools, but the chaos of war shaped how he used them. So what do you think? Was Malicos trained by Plo Koon, Saesee Tiin, Cin Drallig, or perhaps by an unnamed master lost to history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, subscribe and follow for more Star Wars content.